Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Sunday Morning Shred with me, Mark Murray. It's the show. Every Sunday you wake up, go get your coffee, get your ice water, get your soda, whatever you like to start your morning off, your tea. Then you go over to YouTube, and this show is just waiting for you. Every Sunday morning, we got a new guitar show talking about guitars, talking about your guys' guitars. I got a couple videos and a few different guitars people sent in to me this week. And then I also got a bunch of questions from you guys. So I have some of them are from the YouTube videos and some of them are from Instagram. I put out my weekly poll asking people, you got any questions for me to answer? So we got some of both. I'm trying a little bit different setup this week. So if this works out, it's going to be a lot less video editing for me. Let me know in the comments if you don't like the video style of this one, if it's any different. But I think I'm going to go back, eventually add another camera back over here because I did like having the two different cameras, one from this angle, and then when I come over to the computer, having the second camera here. But let me know in the comments if it's better or worse or what. Let's get into the guitar videos. So got a few people sent me videos in, like I said. We have Daryl and we got Dwayne. So let's go check out Daryl's guitar first.
Hi, Mark. This is Daryl with QnA Guitars, man. Yeah, I sent you in that my plain dime. Yeah, I built that 6 months ago. It's all natural. I didn't put any finish on it, but I'm building three other guitars now. I got a prototype. This is called the Avenger. This is 200-year-old walnut. This is just in the, it ain't finished stage, but it's headless. I've got to figure out, I got to mill something. This is just something using temporarily, but it's got I'm using a truss system down here to kind of get that. This wood is kind of it's kind of old, and like I said, but it's got 200-year-old sinker cypress for the truss system down here, and these are Grovers, and it's black walnut. So there you go. I'm a lefty, so I know you hear a lot of guys on there about lefty stuff, man. I know you don't do a lot of lefty stuff, but you will do a build. But if anybody needs to, contact or need any information about some lefty stuff, I'm pretty up on that. So you can reach me at kmanharp@yahoo.com. So but yeah, this is one, and here is the other one. Is some reclaimed butcher block, 75, 100 years old. This is called the El Modern. I built that. That's made out of it's made out of old butcher block. This is an old neck that I repurposed, but it's cool, man. I mean, it might not be in tune. Yeah, it is. Ooh. But anyways, I reclaim stuff. I do build new stuff. I repair instruments and stuff, and I just love doing that, man. And I love what you're doing, man. I think guys out here should be doing that kind of stuff if they can. But being left-handed, it's very, very discouraging when you can't do that. And I've also got one more guitar I'll show you real quick. I made this out of a Telecaster. This was made out of a right-handed Telecaster. It's got all the configurations. I'm a left-handed neck. All this was Telecaster. I cut this out and redid that. But yeah, you can see the back part back here. I put some wings on, but this is a great playing guitar. Sounds like a Telecaster, but I can make it sound, I had a chance to play they want me to play some country band, and I'm like, I'm not a country player. I'm a rock, metal. I love that. So I said, all right, but I'm gonna bring my own. So I played this. So
I love that.
Tel Aviv is what I call it. So, but I love it, and I love, like I said, the stuff that you're doing. But getting back to this, yeah, a friend of mine's a contractor, and he gave me some old wood. And like I said, this is us being left-handed, we can't get a modern or anything like that lefty. So, yeah. But anyways, man, I appreciate it. I love what you're doing, man. If you need any any kind of questions you want to bounce off of me with Lefty, man, be glad to get in touch with me, man. And man, I love what you're doing, man. Keep doing it, man, because all these younger guys out here, man, I see a lot of response, man. And when I seen your show, man, I was like, man, yeah, this guy right here is down to earth, man, and I know we're a country apart because you're on the other side of the United States, but you know there's a lot going on the East Coast too, man, and with lefties, man, we need all the help we can get. But anyways, man, I appreciate your show, and you know everybody, if you're not watching, you need to get watching. So, peace out, man. Thanks.
Dude, Daryl, awesome guitars, man. I really dig the 200-year-old V with the tuning system down there at the the bottom of the guitar instead of at the headstock. I love the craftsmanship of using old wood like that. The butcher block guitar, it's a modern, like you said. It's hard to find left-handed guitars in certain models, and most models. I've been hearing from people, left-handed guitarists that want me to do some work for them. A couple people want me to build them up, convert guitars from right-handed to left-handed to fill in the cavities and move all the controls to the opposite side, and it's very interesting. I'm probably going to be doing some of that in the future. Because there was a poll was taken of 15,000 guitar players, I think it was, and 8% of the people played left-handed. So there's not a lot of lefty, musicians even out there. But then the manufacturers aren't building that many. Like you said, you can't get those Gibson guitars in left-handed models, and Jackson apparently doesn't make hardly any left-handed ones. So somebody was asking me about maybe making them a Kelly or a Flying V left-handed, which is pretty cool. Dwayne Ward. Here we go. So we got another one here. Let's check out Dwayne. Okay, so he sent me a bunch of pictures. We got another video that'll be at the end. So Dwayne's guitar. All right, so this is Dwayne's guitar here. It's a left-handed Jackson. Did he tell me? So he wrote this long description for me. My guitar originally looked like the stock photo, then I decided to add some EVH style stripes to it and change out the neck from a right-handed ESP guitar maple neck. I then mounted the bridge perfectly to the body. I think I'm supposed to say directly to the body. Let's see that. There we go. The pickup is from an old guitar that a friend of mine never plays. 98, 99, I think, is the year of that guitar. Then I decided it was time for some blood splatter. I've never seen blood splatter and EVH style on a guitar before. Have you? Let's see. So there's a close-up of the direct mount pickup. Looks like the stripes here, they're very different. You got a lot of bleeding on the lines. Different than a Van Halen style, too. With they don't connect straight across the whole body. They kind of stop here or there. Look like a lot of X patterns. And then the splatters on the back here. Actually, I have seen a Van Halen style paint job with splatter because I've done one. I actually did one in December, last December. I did metallic gray with, I think it was black stripes and then metallic black splatter on it. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. It turned out really, really sick. Yeah, I like the splatter. Looks good, man. Should have put the splatter on the front too. Why not? Maybe it would have blended in somewhat with the red, but it looks like you used a different red, a darker red. Looks good, dude. Also, you'll see that I've removed the springs in the back. I'm wondering if you've seen this type of thing done before, huh? Anyway, it'd be pretty cool if my guitar could be featured on your show. And keep doing what you're doing, man. Love the show. All the way from Ireland. Hey, cool, Ireland. Let's see. So you removed the springs. I see. You got like a piece of wood holding the trem stable. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Who do we have next? Yes. This is from I think it was Chris Blake. Is that? He made this. It was kind of unclear from the email. So let me know, Chris, if you're watching. Did you say that you made this? He was saying that he got a vinyl cutting machine. And I'm kind of curious to know, did he make the vinyl of Godzilla and then put that on there? Or were you saying that you masked, you used the vinyl as a mask? So you would spray a color, put vinyl on, spray another color, then pull your vinyl back off? Or is the vinyl still on there under the clear coats? I've kind of, tooled with the idea of doing both of those. I didn't know which one would be better. I didn't know if the vinyl would be easy to lift back off. But, yeah, it looks really good, man. Ibanez, Godzilla. He even did the EVH stripes on the pickups, which I've never really seen anybody maybe I've seen Pariah pickups. I think they do a striped pickup set, but there's something about that really fits. I've never really liked Van Halen stripes on pickups, and they're red pickups with black and white stripes. It fits really good. I love the Rising Sun. I love the Godzilla. That's a very cool guitar, man. I'd actually like to know more about it. If you watch the show, let me know. Give us a video of it. Tell us how you did this process, because that thing is very unique, very cool. And is it clear-coated? I'm curious about this. And then here we got a couple of them from Joe Nichols, and these are airbrushed, some of his artwork that he did on them. So we have kind of like a Jason style, Freddy Krueger. I think that is Jason, yeah. And then we got this one with like a flaming skull. Damn, that's evil. I like it. Cool. And then there's something else there. I can hardly tell exactly. It's something with wings. Something. Here's another one he did with like more of like a kind of an angel versus devil look. Very cool. Good stuff. And then we got one more video here, so let's go to that one.
Hi Mark, I'm Michael. This is my guitar that I built when I took a guitar course at Musicians Institute of Technology in Hollywood, California. It is Super Strat. It's an older body. It has a typical Seymour Duncan, JB, full shred, bridge, Fulcrum 2-point pivot bridge. These are graphite saddles I just put in. Typical volume, two-tone. This also has push-pull on it, coil split for the neck, rosewood fingerboard, maple neck. Also has Goto locking tuners. I just put those in along with the saddles, and I put that on. And that's it. Works really good for metal and everything. Love your show. Keep up the good work.
All right, cool, man. Nice guitar, Michael. It looks good. Clean, natural finish on it with the Jackson logo on the headstock. Yeah, man, I like it. It's got the push-pull pot. Can't go wrong with that. I really like the Grover tuners. That's like my favorite, so... this week I've been working on a bunch of guitars. If you guys saw Trash to Thrash this week, you guys saw the new LTD. I actually revealed it on this show, I think a few weeks back, and I got the Crackle paint on it. I've been doing a lot of Crackle lately. I've got the Ibanez Proline V that I also showed on last week's episode that's white Crackle, and then I got the Crackle Kelly that I had done, and probably going to be doing quite a bit more Crackles in the future, I imagine. I just got a bunch of new colors. On one of the next couple weeks of Trash to Thrash, I'll be showing some of the cool new experiments I've been doing with Crackle. Okay, we got a bunch of questions here from Instagram. Let's see. We'll start right at the beginning. So, Stillness9, Warrior or Kelly? So he's talking about Jackson Warrior or Jackson Kelly. Whew. Those are both weird guitars to me because I was never into the Warriors. Never was into Kelly's really either until I built the stealth splatter. I guess you can't call it blood splatter because it's black splatter, but the stealth splatter Kelly, which I still have if somebody wants to buy that guitar. I have it. It's sitting here right next to me in a case actually that matches the guitar. That guitar, that won me over with Kelly's. I really like Jackson Kelly's now. I haven't had one myself yet, but I've rebuilt two of them. There's the Crackle Kelly that's still going, and then the blood splatter Kelly, the black splatter, stealth splatter, whatever. So after playing that one a little bit and the Jeff Loomis one that was here, I got a new special place in my heart for Kellys. I like them a lot. I haven't built myself one yet, but I would like to. I got to start planning out a Kelly build for myself at some point. Something completely crazy, the Crackle, splatter, maybe both on the same guitar. I don't really know, but the Warriors are weird guitars too. Like it's kind of star-shaped, kind of in the same category as a Kelly. I like both of them a lot, man. I'm gonna get a couple JS32 Jackson Warriors pretty soon. A hardtail one, or string through, I should say, and then a Floyd bridge one. I'm going to be building one for somebody, so I just got an order for one with the Floyd Rose bridge, I'm pretty sure. But I decided Safe Haven Music, my friend Brendan over there, check out Safe Haven Music if you're looking for a new Jackson. He's going to hook me up with one of each, a string through and a Floyd Rose one. So I'll rebuild them both and sell the other one that I don't end up that isn't already sold. So I'll really get a better idea then what I think of Warriors, but when it comes down to looks, that's a tough question. I think I like the Warrior look a little bit better. Warriors, they're badass, man. I don't know what it is. I've never been into them, but all of a sudden the last couple months I've liked them a little more, and then the last month I've been having a lot of questions about them, and yeah, they are super dope. Danis _ Ventura. Kirk's picks, do you like or no? I saw this question ahead of time, so I have a Kirk Hammett pick right here. That is the green sparkly. It's a Jazz 3 made by Jim Dunlop, I'm pretty sure. This is what I use, actually. It's a little bit thicker and a little bit bigger. You can see the size side by side right there. I like these a lot more. I tried the Kirk Hammett one. It's cool. I don't have a problem with it, but this, to me, the material of the Tortex material is just something about it. I've been using Tortex picks, yellow ones, green ones, purple sharp ones, black and white sharp ones for years. I used jazz ones a couple times. Never really got into the jazz ones. I have really big hands, so I like a bigger pick, but the full-size sharps were a little bit too big. These flex ones are perfect for me. I like the flex ones. I played the sharps for years. So this one's a little too small for my hands, the Kirk Hammett one. Let's see. Next question. Ryan's Riff Rats. Opinions on Kaler. Didn't see you reply to that before. Kaler bridges are very good quality bridges from what I've heard, but I've never used one myself. I recently bought a Fender Strat, Super Strat, that already had a floating Kaler bridge on it. But there's a few different style of Kalers. There's the kind that look like a Floyd Rose, and then there's the kind that don't have the springs. I don't think they have springs in the back. They have a roller, and they're surface mounted. If I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure that there's a Kaler like that. So I don't really have a lot of experience with them. And I even got another question just about bridges in general. Other tremolos you like besides Floyd Roses? That was from Off-Brand Kyle Lauren. Damn, I am the worst at pronouncing people's names. So other trems I like. To be honest, I really am a Floyd Rose original kind of guy. Floyd Rose, what's the other one? The 1000 series. I like those a lot. I haven't had a reason to have to change. The Ibanez Edge ones, from what I hear, are great, but I don't have a lot of experience with them. I've tried them a few times. They seem like they're perfect, perfectly fine, but not better than a Floyd Rose. Some people really like those, the Kiesel bridges. I don't have a lot of experience with those. Actually, I don't really have any. I played a couple Kiesels at NAMM before. So, I don't know. I got to do a bridge shootout in the future, because Goto makes a really good bridge from what I hear. They make a Floyd Rose style bridge, and also Schaller makes a really good bridge from what I hear. Both brands, FU Tone makes their own bridge. I'm pretty sure the FU Tone ones are made by Goto, though. So if you try to Goto, you kind of know what you're going to get from the FU Tone ones. But yeah, I mean, Floyd Rose, that's my thing. Storm. You going to do something with Harley Benton, like upgrade the parts or something? The Harley Benton guitars are weird. I don't think they're very popular in America. I don't know if they're sold here or not, but it seems like in Europe they're super popular, and they're really affordable, and they come with EMGs and Floyd Roses for $400 in a guitar. Like, how could you get a Les Paul with a Floyd Rose and EMGs for $400? The quality of the parts that are being bolted on it alone, or the price of the parts, I should say, pretty much add to $400. So I don't know if they need upgrading that way, because they already come with premium parts. But that's just a brand I'm confused about, because they look very nice, but how are they doing it so cheap? Like the parts, are they? I don't want to say they're using counterfeit parts, but the parts alone that go on these guitars are worth, the price of the full guitar, not including the wood and somebody assembling it and the distribution and all the stuff that goes into selling a guitar. So I don't know what to think about Harley Benton. They look nice. First guitar built, and how special was it? Musician for life. Thanks for the question. The first guitar I really built, I would say it's my LTD M100. That's the one that I like fully customized. I guess you could take that question a couple different ways. But I would say the LTD that I customized a couple years, 15, 20 years ago, put EMGs in it. It's the guitar that really got me into modding. That guitar I'll never get rid of. It's super special. I don't know if you could see it in the back. It is out there. This webcam I'm using is super blurry. I got to get a better one. If I'm going to do this again next week with this setup for Sunday Morning Shred, I'll get like a super nice 1080p newer webcam. Because I do see the guitar back there, but it's super blurry. That guitar, it does mean a lot to me. I'll never get rid of it. As far as a full build, the first guitar I really did was a Frankenstrat that was made from a Squier, because I knew I didn't have the skill to really do it yet, and I wanted to just start getting some experience. So I bought, it was an old Squier I actually already had, just sitting around. I wasn't even playing it, and I stripped it down, repainted it, did some mods to it. But that one wasn't that special to me. It was something I learned a lot on, but it wasn't a guitar that I really cared about or played a lot, because it wasn't a high-end guitar. It wasn't like my first guitar or anything like that. It was a guitar I played for years when I was in a band, and I have pictures of me playing it on stage, like in its stock form, but it still didn't hold like a sentimental place with me. Official Shredder. Do you fine/level sand any paint job before spraying the clear coat? Yeah. I don't always do it, but technically you should always do it, because once your paint is dried, it's a little too slick and smooth to be painting directly back on. So you need to give it a light sanding at least with some 800 grit sandpaper. I learned this from Brad Angove, if you guys know him or saw him a month ago or so on this show. There's a lot of little things like that with painting that I learned from his channel, but you're supposed to give it a light sanding before you throw the next paint layer on there, just so it has a mechanical adhesion. Makes you sound smart when you know all these like terms like that, but I'm just memorizing stuff I saw on his videos. But you're supposed to, yeah, you're supposed to. And I do, usually. Metal Messiah 420. Thoughts on death metal band? Any favorite bands? A couple. Between the Buried and Me is a Prog death metal band. They're like one of my absolute favorite bands. Love Between the Buried and Me. BT Bam for life. Conquering Dystopia is another one that's, I don't know if you consider them death metal. I don't know exactly what death metal is, to be honest. The genres get so blurry and kind of blend together. But the band Death is where death metal comes from. That phrase death metal comes from Death. Death was with Chuck Schuldiner, was a very progressive, technical, screaming, technical guitars and drums that are syncopated playing and weird time signatures and tempo changes, and I love that kind of music. That's my favorite kind of music to play because it's so challenging. You have to think about what's coming forward, the next parts that are coming, what key is it in, what's the tempo, how to transition when everybody's doing their own weird parts and then everybody comes back together. Like all these things, it makes it so challenging, but that's what I love about it. So Haunted Shores, I consider that death metal. I don't know. There's a handful of death metal bands, but I don't really get into like a lot of death metal, I would say. This one's from Mark Abojkovich. Definitely butchered that one. Favorite color scheme on a guitar. Ooh, I've got two that are my favorite colors for guitars, like blue or green and purple. Those are like the two colors that when I see a green guitar or a purple guitar, I'm just a sucker for green or purple guitars. But man, a lot of the look of a guitar is the texture too. So quilted maple, burled, Buckeye burl, flame maple. I love guitars with that style texture or whatever wood grain to them. So I'm not as big on color, I would say, as I am on does it have a burst, does it have nice, interesting wood grain, those kinds of things. So my favorite color scheme, it's hard to say. I mean, my favorite guitars I have, if I had to pick one color scheme, it'd probably have to be like purple paint of some sort, burst or whatever it is, with like a nice wood, and then gold hardware. That's probably my number one. But it does change all the time. That's why I have like 20 guitars. Every time I build a new guitar, it's my current taste, my current dream guitar. And then 4 or 5 months later, I've got a new thing in my head. I'm like, I love blue guitars now. I need to have a blue one. And then a year later, I love green guitars. So it always changes. Hellraiser 666 2.0. What do you think about Children of Bodom? Do you like Alexi Leo and his guitars? I love Children of Bodom. I don't listen to him as much as I. There was one time, for a couple months, where I got into him pretty heavily. I wish I would have known about him a long time ago because they would have been my favorite band for a long time, probably. They have so much power to them and technique. And I really do love the keyboards. When I was younger, I hated electronic style keyboards in metal. I used to hate like a bunch of things. I used to hate when there's clean guitars in metal. I used to think that you should only use distortion. Like when you're playing metal, only distortion, no clean channel, no clean guitars at all. I used to think that that like real metal, like heavy, thrash, or not thrash, but like modern style should have, if you're going to have screaming, you should only have screaming, no singing. There can't be any singing. It has to only be screaming. Like I used to have these weird rules about music, and I don't know. Children of Bodom was one of them. My old rules was that I hated keyboard in music, in metal music, I should say. Because I've always loved 80s music that has keyboard, but Children of Bodom has like those weird NBA bum, 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 like these weird like dramatic sound effects that now I love them. I love all the different keyboard styles. Between the Buried in Me that I mentioned earlier, they really opened my eyes when it comes to just what kind of music I like, because they'll go from death metal to something super jazzy and like clean into something that's like 80s rock, and they'll cover singing, distortion, clean, keyboards, acoustic guitar, Spanish, death metal, all in like a 5-minute part of one song. It's crazy. So they really opened my eyes to that kind of stuff and made it so that bands like Children of Bodom I'd be more open to, because when I hear their keyboard, I'm like, oh yeah, I do like that. Same with Dream Theater. Dream Theater really opened my eyes to more dramatic keyboard and piano stuff in music. So Children of Bodom, love them. The Bloodthirst, whatever, the Blood album. I love that Blood album. I put it on all the time. Alexi Leo, legend. Herman Lee, I saw in an interview after Alexi passed. Herman Lee said that he thinks Alexi was the best metal guitarist, modern day, hands down. Like doing vocals, playing so well, writing insane stuff, plays perfect live. I think his guitars are awesome. They're Rhodes style guitars. I like 2 pickups. He usually plays with 1 pickup, but awesome guitars. User 2941887. Have you ever been to a Metallica concert, and if so, what's your favorite one? Oh, yeah. I've been to 4 Metallica concerts. The first one was when I was like 13 years old, the summer after 8th grade, 1999, Summer Sanitarium Tour. Powerman 5000 opened up, System of a Down played, Korn, Kid Rock, and Metallica. Crazy concert my dad brought me. It was amazing. Years later, I went and I saw Metallica again. Like almost 20 years later. 2018, 2017, probably somewhere around there. Saw them I saw them twice within 1 week. So I had bought tickets to go see them here in at the Rose Bowl, I think it was, in Pasadena. Was that where it was? And then I saw them a week later in San Diego with a couple of my friends. One of my friends had tickets. asked me if I wanted to go, and we went down to San Diego. And the San Diego one was incredible. The one the week before in Pasadena was crazy. At the Pasadena one, they actually started playing Van Halen stuff because Van Halen is from Pasadena. So they played like Running with the Devil. But the number one Metallica concert that I've been to was Portland, Oregon. Must have been 2019. I think it was 2019 or 2018. 2019, I think it was. I went out there for what was supposed to be. It was a total surprise to my fiance because Metallica, I looked it up. They were playing December 5th in Portland, Oregon. And to me, a perfect vacation is to go to a city, go see a concert, have their best pizza, maybe get some coffee, go to their breweries, and just chill, go to the guitar shops in the area. That's like my favorite thing. If I could have a travel show, that's what it would be, is to go to like cities, try their pizza, meet up with like guitarists that I know from different cities, check out the guitar factories or guitar stores in the area, get some coffee maybe, have a couple beers, and then edit that down to an hour. Every week, go to a different city. That'd be awesome. So it was my birthday. I looked forward on Metallica's tours and saw in December 5th, they were playing in Portland, Oregon. I actually have one of my best friends lives in Portland, Oregon. So I was like, oh, man, that's crazy. Metallica's playing my birthday in a city that one of my best friends lives in. It's a perfect excuse to go visit him and bring my fiance. She's never been to Portland, so we can, or at the time it was just my girlfriend. We could like travel there. I got an Airbnb, got this sick place. The real plan was I was going to propose to her. So she, of course, was like, oh man, this is awesome. We're going for his birthday and to see Metallica on December 5th. But then we went and toured like these waterfalls and everything the day of the concert, and I proposed to her at a waterfall. It was epic. It was awesome. Awesome. Then we saw Metallica that night. Metallica crushed it. It was so good. It was at the Moda Center. It was amazing. It was honestly one of the best days of my life. Maybe the best day, but then again, people always say the day my kid was born, but maybe after my son was born, that was probably the best day of my life. That was crazy. But yeah, it's right up there. It was amazing. Metallica crushed it. They were in their prime again. It like doesn't make sense because they were totally destroying in the early 90s on the Live Shit Binge and Purge style, that whole tour that they did after the Black Album. James' voice was on point. Kirk was shredding. Well, that's kind of what it felt like, this concert. It was so good. The energy was so powerful. They had drones flying around. They had flames on stage. The whole band crushed it. They played an amazing set. It was awesome. It was awesome. That's my favorite Metallica concert I've been to. Favorite guitarist other than Eddie Van Halen. Obviously, for a lot of you guys know, I'm a huge Metallica fan. Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield are two of my favorites as well. But I would also put Morello on there, Tom Morello, because what he does with guitar is ridiculous. Like the whammy pedal, all the effects, the kill switches, all that stuff, insane. Another one I would put right up there, John 5. John 5 is he's got to be the best guitarist living. He plays every style, super technical. He plays slide, he plays metal, he shreds. He plays so well. He puts on a crazy show. I think that John 5 is, like, to me, the number one guitarist alive right now. John Petrucci is another one. He's one of my absolute favorites. The things he decides to do on the guitar are just ridiculous. So good, so smart, beautiful playing. Note then. No, yeah, it looks like it says Note then, 1987. What is that name? I must be reading that wrong. What's one guitar you hate? Color, body shape, or components? That's a hard question. Honestly, I really do love guitars, so it's like I don't hate any guitars really. But there's a bunch of guitars I never would want to buy or own, and those would be semi-hollow bodies, any hollow bodies, like stuff like that. Not my style at all. I have like no interest in that kind of stuff. Gibson SGs, not my thing. Telecasters, BC Rich Mockingbirds. I don't like those. Even BC Rich Warlocks. I don't know. I don't like those. Gibson Moderns. Those are ugly. There's so many out there that I don't really like that I probably wouldn't want. But that being said, if somebody had one in front of me, I wouldn't be like, ew, get that thing out of my face. I probably would appreciate the beauty in it and look at it. And like I said, I love guitars, so it's tough to say. Bink 4444. Could you do a spray paint and clear on guitars tutorial? I could. It would take a long time. I do plan on doing some more tutorials in the future. Probably through my Patreon. I'm going to set up a Patreon page and do like a lot of real in-depth stuff. So like real deep tutorials that you would be able to go from never painting a guitar before to painting a pretty damn good guitar. That's my goal. Oh, here's Alex. The most outrageous guitar you have ever rebuilt. The most outrageous. I kind of feel like the Haxon, the original Haxon, was the most outrageous guitar I've ever rebuilt, because that was one that I took the neck and the body from two different guitars. I found a Maple Jackson neck, which you hardly ever see 90s Maple Jackson necks. It had a buried alive signature kill switch. It had these crazy pickups that I had designed for a Charvel a couple years back, and then I had them sitting in a drawer, never used them. It was 5 pickups in one guitar, but it looked like it was a HSH combo. But it was actually 5 pickups. It was crazy. That guitar was wicked. Then I also chopped off the horn on it, did the alien blood. So I had like so many things about it that were unique to it that was really cool. I liked that guitar. Riffs and Rios. How did you get the equipment to do what you do? I don't know if you're talking about for working on guitars or for doing recording stuff, but it just started when I was 10 years old. I've been playing and doing all this stuff since I was 10, and back then I wanted to record my own stuff, so I started buying cameras and recording devices back when I was like 14 years old, and then I started working on guitars when I was 18 years old maybe, and I'm 34 now. So it's just every couple weeks pick up one new thing, get into one new thing, like buy files, and then learn how to refret, and then that's what you do for 2 months. And then go to the next thing. Learn how to do Crackle paint jobs for a month. All you do for every weekend is Crackle paint jobs all day. And then the next 2 months, all you do is clear coats and level sanding and polishing. And that's all you do for 2 months. So, like, you got to get into things deep and, like, get all the way into them. You can't just, like, you can't dabble. You got to go all the way in with things. And then after, 25 years of bouncing from this little subject to another, after a while you'll just start to put together what you need skill set wise and tool wise, because it takes forever. It's thousands of dollars to buy all the tools you need, but you just got to start somewhere. That's the thing. If you're young and you can't afford stuff, save up. That's what you just got to do. Find a way to make a little bit of extra side money. Even if you're a teenager or in your 20s, get a second job. Like there's never been a time when I had one job. I've always had at least 2 jobs, 3 jobs, part-time at 3 different places, plus my full-time job, plus trying to start other businesses and things like that. So you got to have multiple income sources so that you can pay your bills and then also have a little bit left over for your hobbies. And then eventually maybe your hobbies can start to pay your bills. These usernames, I'm not going to try with that one. It's a bunch of letters in a row that don't seem like they belong together. Prog metal, love prog metal. Necrophagist, like I said, Between the Buried and Me, Dream Theater, Animals as Leaders. If you like prog metal, check out my music. I think there's a link. I'll put a link down in the description for sure, to my Spotify page, Mark Murray, and I've got a couple of progressive albums on there that are pretty awesome in my opinion. I love Weird Time Signatures. I love prog metal, but I really love prog metal. Like prog rock is great, King Crimson, Rush, all that kind of stuff, Genesis. But prog metal is like my thing. Blast beats, breakdowns. Love that. Lucas, do you have to route a Floyd Rose? Yeah, if you're trying to switch a guitar that doesn't have a Floyd into a Floyded guitar, then yeah, you definitely have to route to make it fit. The saddle on the bottom is in a slightly different position, plus it's bigger, and it's going to move a lot more than on a Strat. So you're going to have to route out some of the area on the bottom side, plus where it sits on top, you're going to need to do some routing. Milk MP4. If you built a dream guitar, how would it look? Okay, well, like I said earlier, it does change all the time. But if I were to build one like right now, I actually have a couple secret ones in mind that I'm going to ignore. I'm not going to tell you about those yet. So I do have a couple dream ones coming. But I would say it would probably be... it's going to be super Strat shaped like a Jackson. It's got to have a binding on it. Okay? Like a abalone and white binding or a cream binding or whatever. I'd say 2 pickups, humbuckers, of course. Gonna go with the EMG 8160. Those are my go-tos right now, but I'll be definitely open to trying something else. Goto tuners. Maybe even Seymour Duncan pickups. I'm cool with that too. Anyways, Floyd Rose. Floyd Rose original with all DF tone upgrades, all of them. Yeah, I mean, it's what's crazy is I kind of already have like a different version of those guitars. So like when I think like what is my dream guitar, like I kind of already have a couple that are my dream guitars. The Edwards guitars, the LTD MH1000s. Pretty satisfied with the current lineup I've got. Liam Hopkins, best guitar with a Floyd Rose under $1,500. LTD MH1000, hands down. Those are the best guitars. The Jackson SL2Qs are great guitars too, but the MH1000, a little better. Rock Smash Caveman. Is there any shit I should look out for when installing a Floyd? I mean, if you've never done it, just be real careful, double measure everything. I always say try it on a test guitar. Like if you have any old guitars around, try that first, because you don't want to like route too big of a hole or route it crooked or whatever. Tavares Project. What's your favorite EVH guitar? The original Frankenstrat, I probably that one. The Shark is awesome. The Star is awesome. But I think I got to go with the original Frankenstrat. Connor Casey 2004. Favorite Dokken album or song? Honestly, I don't really know anything from Dokken. I'm going to be honest. Not a Dokken guy. And then real quickly, before we get out of here, I got a couple other ones I got from YouTube. Tom Brooks was asking, we're always seeing neon colors with either black or white Crackle paint. And we're seeing bursts of multiple colors, but why not neon green guitar with a neon red Crackle, for example, or the other way around? Crackle is very limited. As far as I know, only a handful of companies even make Crackle paint, so you're limited on what colors you can even get. I've been using Montana, and I think Montana only makes about 6 colors. So I have all 6 colors now. But you can't get like neon, certain colors you just can't get. There's ways to make your own Crackle paint, but I don't know how to do that yet. So at some point, it'd be pretty cool to do that. Hey, Ruka. Ruka Goose just came over. What's up, girl? Sean Munoz. Really awesome stuff, dude. Very curious about the V that's in the back of the final shot that has a neck pickup route that has been filled, as well as some of the controls. I'm actually trying to do the same thing to a trashed LTD body I inherited. Yeah, you'll see that on Trash to Thrash soon. So I'm filling some holes. I filled in the neck cavity. I'm going to be doing that on like 3 guitars in the next month and a half or so. So keep watching Trash to Thrash. I'm about to hit the season finale, episode 20, and I don't think before then I'm going to start any guitars that I'm filling the neck cavity on. But it could be the opening of season 2 in a month and a half or so whenever I come back. You're going to see me do that. I'm going to show in depth. Basically, take a block of wood that's about the size of that hole, put it in there, glue it in, and then Bondo or fill all around it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, sand it level. Tune into Trash to Thrash next season, and you're going to be able to see me do it on a couple guitars. Frankie Chan, have you ever used micro mesh pads instead of 4/0 steel wool for fret polishing? I have not, and I've seen it advertised through like StewMac. I'm interested in trying it. He said, it's great because it goes up to the equivalent of 2,500 grit, plus you don't run the risk of metal dust like you do with steel wool. And they're a lot cheaper than proper fret rubber erasers. I also noticed that you're very manual with the polishing of the clear coats. You avoid using buffing pads on a drill, etc. Is that a worry about burning through by accident? I just never had great results doing it with like the drills and with like electric buffers, but I'm getting to the point where I'm buffing out a couple guitars a week now, and I do need to step over to the world of automatic buffing units. I was looking at StewMac's one because I was like, oh, maybe I'll get that StewMac one. I looked it up. It's like $850. I was like, damn, a little too much. I don't mind spending money to invest in the business, but $800, like, I'm going to look around and see if there's any other alternatives out there. Any other companies? I know Highline Guitars, he makes a bunch of tools and he makes kits of things and like blueprints you can buy. So I saw that Chris from Highline had how to make your own guitar buffing system, which looked quite similar to the StewMac one. So I'm probably going to look into doing that, unless I can find something off the shelf for half the price of the StewMac one. But we'll see. And I do want to try those micro mesh for guitars that are put together. I usually only use the 4/0 steel wool on a guitar that's already taken apart, or you just got to tape the hell out of the pickups because you don't want that stuff getting stuck on the pickups. Brian Duncan, could you focus on setting bridges and intonation sometime? I would love to see your process on setups. Absolutely, I'll do that. I have like a little Floyd Rose tool that's makes it very easy actually. So I've been showing each episode of Trash to Thrash kind of goes in depth into a couple subjects: painting, sanding, paint booths, kill switches, and that's just one I haven't shown yet. So I will, but I just haven't got to it. Armin, what's the difference between matte, satin, poly, nitro, and clear coat for finishes? There's a lot of difference between them. Somebody actually answered this for me, which is really awesome. Serpent's Bane. He said, nitro is an antiquated lacquer finish that degrades over time. Look at most vintage guitars, compromising the integrity of your guitar's lifespan in the long run. That might be an opinion. I don't know. I don't know a ton about nitro versus some of the other types of paint, but I do know what he's saying is pretty true about it does age differently, and a lot of people like that nitro look, but then some people don't. Polyurethane is a thick plastic finish that mostly prevents your guitar from aging and wearing down, making it look fresh from the factory years later. Yeah, polyurethane, it is known for being very durable. It's the most commonly used finish these days, as it's superior to nitro and cheaper for the better, in my opinion. Clear coat is any finish that is translucent over the instrument, such as poly, nitro, oil. Any guitar this guy mods, he sprays a color paint down first, then a translucent, almost invisible finish over the guitar so the color can still be seen. So yeah, basically a clear coat, people always mix up what is a lacquer versus a clear coat. Clear coat just means you're putting something clear over the paint. Lacquer is a type of paint, so the material that it's made out of. Same thing with nitro, poly. There's enamels. Those are types of paint. So that's like the chemical composition of what makes it up. Clear coat just means there's like a base coat, which is your colors. Then there's your clear coat, which is the protectant that goes over your colors that you can get in different sheens. That's what matte, satin, gloss, flat, those are sheens. And that's, high gloss clear coat, or you can do a matte clear coat. You can do a satin clear coat. So there's different sheens, then there's different coats that you would put on, and then there's different types of paint. So those are three different, things that you would compare with each other. Looks like we got time for one more here from Ani. The Crackle V is so good, gotta say. Not really digging the cloudiness of the clear pickguard. You gotta deal with it later. There are nylons on it. Yes, there are nylons on it. So this has been like something that's so funny to me that so many people have messaged me about saying, the guitar looks cool. I hate the pick guard. The pick guard, the clear pick guards I use on these guitars are crystal clear. But when you're working with them and you're getting dust and drilling holes and all this stuff and you're transferring it, it's not mounted on the guitar yet, I always leave the protective plastic sheeting on there just so it doesn't get scratched up or messed up. But it's funny how many people have really brought that up to me, and I'm like, I've showed it on episodes of Trash to Thrash. I thought, yeah, I definitely have. Some of the earlier episodes, the Alien Blood Roads, that one had a clear pick guard. So, yeah, it's not going to be a cloudy, hazy pick guard once I pull that plastic off. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a big Sunday lined up ahead of you, some fun stuff. I know this weekend I got some clear coats done on a few guitars, sprayed out some clear coats on some headstocks. The LTD V250, I'm going to be spraying the clear on that today. What else? Also, the back of the neck on that guitar, I'm going to be spraying a flat clear on the back of the neck, a matte clear, I guess it technically is, on the back of that head or that neck. And then I'm going to be spraying the front of that Crackle later on early this week. So make sure to tune in to Trash to Thrash this week. You're going to see hopefully the conclusion of the PV Rockmaster and the Jackson Dinky EX model, and the V250 should be well upon its way. So thanks so much for watching, guys. If you guys want me to show your guitars on this show, send me a video, a couple minutes long, describing the guitar, telling me the history of it, the mods you've done to it, what you like about the guitar, and send it to mark@guitarguts.com. And then if you have any questions for me, leave them down in the comments below, and I always go through, gather up all the questions, and then answer them back on the show. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you very soon, Thursday, Trash to Thrash. Rock on, my friends.